Hello, everyone, and welcome. We are so excited to have you tonight on the Team Up call. I know everybody is coming from all different organizations to hear the one and only Jamie Cantrell, and I'm excited that I get to introduce her tonight. Terry is not here, but here in spirit. As you can see, obviously, Terry Luongo is written at the bottom of my screen, but that is not who I am if you are just jumping on. My name is Abby Nowlin. And I get the honor of introducing Jamie this evening before she kicks off her presentation that she gave during the Pajama Regional called QSC on Purpose. And Jamie is someone that lives her life with great purpose. She is a friend, a mentor of mine, and I'm honored to know her and call her friend. And so I'm so excited that you guys get to hear from her this evening because she has a powerful, packed message to share with you. So with that said, I am going to read her bio straight from the script here because I don't want to deviate from it. And Terry, if you have been in the audience, there was a time when Terry introduced Jamie and said that she was a Division IV athlete, which is something that I would say because I don't know sports very well. So I'm going to make sure that I say the correct division, all the things. And Jamie, if I don't, please correct me. Okay, so Jamie Cantrell, she received a full athletic scholarship to play Division I soccer at Southern Methodist University. She was a 4-year starter and team captain for top 10 ranked Lady Mustangs, including the NCAA Final Four appearance. She is an all-conference player and an all-academic player, and spent several years in corporate America and transitioned eventually into education, and she taught for nearly 15 years. She spent 9 years as the head varsity soccer coach at Ursuline Academy of Dallas, capturing 9 consecutive state titles and TAPPS High School Coach of the Year. She's a 39 club NMD and has been with the Juice Plus company for 6 years. She is a wife to Sean Cantrell, and they have been married for 16 years. Sean was a 2-sport athlete at SMU. She is a stepmom to Ashlyn, a mom to Caden and Kellen, and Black Labrador Zeke, who you may very well hear during her presentation because he never leaves her side. So with that said, Jamie, take it away, friend.
I love you, Abby Luongo is here, Terry Nowlin in place of Terry, yeah, you know what I mean. Okay, you guys, I just want to thank you for your 30 minutes tonight on a Monday night. Your time is precious to me. So I really hope that you get out of it what you're here to achieve. I will tell you tonight, you're going to learn about a concept called core rank. And if you're taking notes, it's something that's easy to remember, core rank. It's a network marketing industry concept that basically describes a company's foundational sweet spot, where you want to take and lead people that come in and are active representatives. And it's kind of like the target position, if you will. I think core rank in our marketing plan is the position of QSC, and in just a little bit, we're going to talk about why that is. But I think the really cool part about the concept of core rank is that it's a position that can be achieved in a relatively short amount of time with enough income potential to keep people interested. And so really tonight, there's 3 main goals. What is core rank? Why is it important for your business? And how you can implement a core rank strategy in what you do. But before we start to talk about core rank and before we start to do the X's and O's and the strategies, I have to address something up front. Because none of what I'm going to teach you tonight, the X's and O's, is going to matter if we don't come through on this particular topic. All right. Those of you who know me know that the product, I'm a very strong advocate of the product. 10 years ago, our family's pediatrician recommended Juice Plus to us because we were a mess of a family. And, you know, in the words of Jennifer Grubb, one of my best friends and in my organization, she will say, I'm bulletproof on the product. You will never convince me it doesn't work. I'm the same way. But where I really get passionate and I really come to life is this business. And it wasn't always that way for me. I need you to hear each one of you on this call. I want you to know that I started off very much afraid of this business. But what I need you to know, this business has become personal. You know, a few years ago, my parents, who had been married nearly 50 years, decided to end their marriage and divorce. And we're a big Italian family. Holidays are what I live for. So every tradition that I had known was basically changed. Divorce is hard. It doesn't matter what age you are, it's hard. But what was harder for me as a daughter of divorce was watching what was about to unfold with my mother. My mom was in her early 70s, and call it situational, call it generational, but she was very codependent on my father, financially, emotionally, mentally, everything. She's a great woman. She did an amazing job raising her 3 girls, but her whole identity was in her children. And so when it came to the point where she and my dad divorced, she had no financial knowledge or responsibility. And whatever money she received from the divorce, she blew through very quickly. She didn't know how to manage her money. She didn't have any hobbies. She didn't have any passions outside of her children and grandchildren. And so at the age of 70, she had to start over in life. The golden years where she should be enjoying her grandchildren and her family and reaping the benefits of her hard work, she was in a position that she was financially broke. She had to transition into low-income housing, despite my sisters and I's efforts to help her financially. She had to get a job, and in her words, she wasn't highly marketable in her early 70s with no job skills and no work history. And so she had to accept whatever came her way. And unfortunately for her, what that meant was she had to take a job that required her to work on the weekends during the time that meant most to her, where she could go watch her grandchildren play sports. And that was taken away from her. So I don't think that was the lifestyle that my mom would have envisioned for herself. And so as I retrospectively looked back at the decisions in the course of life and the action my mom took, I looked at my Juice Plus business and I looked at how different my trajectory was going, right? I look at this business model as a vehicle for prevention, much like the product prevents. You know, independent of my husband, I have an income that if something were to happen, I'm gonna be okay. My family is gonna be okay. I have a community of people that I look forward to being with. I have some of the best friendships. I have purpose. All of the things I wished my mom had had and developed for herself, this business model gifts you. So when somebody says to me, I'm not certain about the business, I'll tell them, borrow my story until you get your own. But I'm going to encourage you, if you are that person that you are afraid of the business, I'm going to encourage you to do a couple of things. Number one, I'm going to encourage you to pay attention to what it is that scares you. Is it yourself? Is it the industry? Is it the company? What is it? Is it fear of rejection? Is it that you don't understand the business model? Whatever it is, be very clear. If you learn nothing more tonight, my hope for you is that you create clarity about what your hesitation is in building team. Because none of what I'm going to teach you is going to matter if you don't have anybody to implement it on. All right, number two thing I'm going to encourage you to do is to study the industry. If you were to go to get a new job somewhere, chances are you would investigate that industry before you accept the position. The same is here. This is a business. You are a home-based business owner. Study the industry you're a part of. Because here's what I know, when you know more about the industry, knowledge equals confidence. You're going to be amazed at what this industry can provide. Number three, I'm going to encourage you to find somebody in the industry that does it better than you and model them, call them, ask them to be your mentor. Go to conferences to learn about the business, listen to podcasts, but increase your education. Okay, so if I'm speaking to any of you now, I want you to know it is okay to be afraid. What's not okay is to stay there. So that's my first recommendation to you, is to understand if you're having what I believe is one of the gaping holes in network marketing is adding team, is we've got to begin to chip away and figure out how to solve that problem. Okay, are you guys with me? Are you guys feeling okay about that? And listen, I need you to know this comes from a place of love. And I can only share these things because I experienced them too. So here's what I've learned. You get to choose. You have a choice in what you believe. And my hope is that you start to believe in the power of this industry, this company, and how this business model works. So Here's the second hole, and this is where we're going to really dive into tonight. So if you're ready, pens and paper, let's go. Let me share with you a few things, a few noteworthy things. Some of the activity measurements in network marketing. Here comes my dog. Get ready, get ready, get ready. Are you ready? All right. There are some industry activity measurements. Let's say you are on fire and you're recruiting people to your team. And some of you, even the word recruiting makes your skin crawl. It's okay. All right, however you want to, whatever you want to call it, bringing people on board, etc. Just don't ever say get people. We don't get customers and we don't get team members. We don't get people, right? But let's say you bring 100 people on board. 100, that's a lot of people. I need you to understand the network marketing industry statistics. All right, out of 100 people you bring or attract, I love that, Heidi, we attract, brilliant. Out of 100 people, 70% of those you bring on board will not recruit one person to their team. They don't want to. They are happy customers. You know what? They are loving their product. They'll be great referrals, but they don't want to do the business. I'm not saying that this is just Juice Plus. I'm talking the industry. 7 out of 10, 70%. And so I share that with you so you don't think, Billy or Paula or Amy, that you're a bad person or a bad leader or people aren't attracted. No, 7 out of 10 are just not going to do anything. Okay? Now, 20% out of the 30% remaining, 20% will add a team member by mistake. It's usually their Aunt Clara who has a great product experience and then a couple of her friends, and she's like, sure, I'll take advantage of the cost savings, add me on board. But after that, they're not going to do anything. One person in the lifespan of their business will come on board. So you're thinking to yourself, Jamie, that's 90% of the people I bring in. Those aren't really statistically good odds, are they? Well, let's flip the lens a little bit. This is where it starts to get exciting. You ask any financial advisor what they think about a 10% return on their investment is, and I guarantee you, they'll be happy. In our industry, in network marketing, you win with 10%. You win. I want you to write that down. I want you to underline it. I want you to get excited about it. The 90% that aren't going to do anything or not much, your focus and goal is to help them become a Partner Plus. Help them get a bonus to help their cost. Help them to bring on a 1 or 2 people, family members. Help them get more products so that they're experiencing the full benefit of Juice Plus. But those 10% that have a desire and a passion to do something, this is where we start to get really wickedly smart and strategic. All right, so let's talk about those 10%. 5 out of the 10 will recruit a few team members, 2 to 4 in the span of their lifetime. Here's the catch. Sometimes we try to drive them a little bit harder, but they're perfectly content with their small team and they do a good job taking care of them. Love them where they are, because a lot of times that's a really big part of your business. All right, now you got 5 people left. 3 of those 5 people will recruit between 6 and 9 team members in their lifetime. All right, they're going to build a nice sales coordinator leg, maybe a QSC leg, and then they're going to stay there and they're going to be happy for whatever reason. All right, and then the 2 remaining, 2 out of 100 will be what we call super recruiters. They're going to recruit 10 or more people in their lifetime. All right, and so really, we're looking and seeking to find the 10%, but wouldn't it be amazing if we took that 10% and helped them achieve a little bit more than they thought was possible? And that's what Core Rank is all about, all right? Having a very clearly defined process. So admittedly, I spent a large portion of my business years trying to squeeze more out of the 90%. And it was exhausting. Dragging, convincing, following up, micromanaging, and that's not what this business is about. All right, so tonight we're going to talk about what do you do with the 10%. All right, so let's talk about what is Core Rank. What is it? In the last few months, this is a concept we're rolling out to our team. I will be baking it into our culture. It is the sweet spot in our network marketing plan. It is the sweetest spot. It is a position in our marketing plan that can be achieved in 30 to 60 days. All right, and what I love about what our company just did is they really made it attractive to do it in 30 days. Here's what the greatest analogy I can come up with for QSC is it's drawing the line in the sand for people. People come on board and they do Partner Plus and they get a $50 or $100 bonus, exciting, but maybe not motivating enough to keep them in the game. You get them to QSC under the new plans from our company. Do you know that if they do QSC in 30 days or less, their Partner Plus in 10 days or less, they can make up to nearly $1,000 in their first 30 days based on the bonus and the retail sales profit. So imagine how different your conversation is, Christian, with somebody that you're talking to them about team. Wouldn't it be amazing to say, hey, if I can show you a way, no income claims, you got to do the work. But if I can show you a way to make $1,000 this next month, would that be of interest to you? How many people do you know would say no to that? All right, so it changes, it up levels your conversation to show them what we're all about. So also, I want to share with you how simple it is to get to the position of QSC. 7 families where mom, dad, boyfriend, girlfriend, partner, partner are eating Juice Plus, or 14 trios. And if you're a shred, if you lead with a shred, it's 8 shred customers. So think about it. You can tell someone, do you know 7 families? Do you know 8 people that want to get healthy this next month with our shred program? That's the volume it takes to hit QSC. Okay? And so that's what core rank is. It's the, imagine a big neon sign around the place that you as an upline want to help most people achieve. Billy is brand new into our organization. You better believe that, well, she's been in our organization for a little while, but today she made the decision that she wants to go in this business. So guess what? Myself and Jennifer Grubb are going to be teaching her core rank, core rank, core rank. That's all she's going to know. Because guess what else? It's duplicatable. So why is focusing on core rank so important to your business? Sarah Winstead, you're going to hear from me quite a bit. Why is it so important? Because it's simple. It answers the question, what do I need to do? I don't need to create this event. I don't need to create all this extra. I don't need to do this. I'm going to stay in line and I'm going to simplify and streamline. So here's why it's important. QSC in our marketing plan is the driving force behind all rank advancements. Think about it. Let's say somebody wants to go to the position of fast track to sales coordinator. Have you ever tried to sit down and explain to somebody in one conversation how to get to sales coordinator? It's a little bit overwhelming. But if you dial it down and teach them how to core rank, understand the structure for sales coordinator is 2 QSCs and 1 Partner Plus. If you're smart, you'll say 3 QSCs. The structure is 3 QSCs. Think about it. To go to the next level, what do we need to continue to create in your organization? Width and a strong width. So every level in our marketing plan is based on this one fundamental piece. So get really good at creating it and duplicating it. So let's talk about how. How do you begin the process of implementing a core rank strategy in your organization? Okay, I know there's freedomrevolution.com. There's a lot of resources. I'm going to tell you, I'm reading this book right now called Atomic Habits. I've read it a couple times and I love this quote, so I want to share this with you. Behaviors followed by satisfying consequences tend to be repeated, and those that produce unpleasant consequences tend to be less repeated. So let me give you a real life scenario in our business model. There are two things that need to take place in order to create a strong business in our Juice Plus marketing plan, besides a strong why and intention, is action and skills. Action and skills. In the words of Terry Luongo, life is never either or, it's both and. My challenge and my mistake for so many years is I focused on building the skills of new reps first before I really emphasized the action. I switched the cart before the horse here, because let me give you an example. I'm trying to teach people how to tell their story, which is important. But I'm almost 7 years into the business and I'm still learning how to tell my story. Product and business. We're teaching people how to invite for an event. We're teaching people how to promote. We're teaching people how to present an event. We're teaching people how to follow up. We're teaching people how to add customers in the virtual office. We're teaching people how to take care of their customers. All of that is important. Hear me. But if we're teaching all of these skills and there's no money or no customers coming in, they're going to bow out. You've got to get people into action, because here's what people who say yes come in. Most times they have no idea why they've said yes. And if you're lucky, they're going to tell you, well, I want to cover my cost. So instead of me throwing a bunch of skills training, a bunch of Voxer messages, a bunch of information at them, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to throw action steps at them. So they're going to learn as they're doing, and guess what it does? It buys me time to teach them the skills when they've already bought into the business. You try to teach someone all of these skills before they hit Partner Plus, good luck. So I'm going to share with you a little bit about what we do here. Okay. First thing we do is that we take an inventory of our team. Each month we ask, who wants to core rank this month? I use Project Broadcast. I send it through my whole organization, and guess what? No pressure. You want to do it this month? Great. If you don't, no problem. You're still going to get the information and tools you need to be successful. But what we've done is we've taken an inventory of who wants to do this. The second step we do is we have a very clearly defined customer acquisition system designed for our first 30 days of business, all action steps. And if you're on my team, you know for the past 2 years what the customer acquisition system is. If I were to unmute Sarah, if I was going to mute Terry Luongo, Abby Luongo, she would tell you social media, samples, schedule it. Yep, thank you, Susan Cousins. She just chimed in. We build customer base through the SSS, social media, samples, and schedule it. What that means is we have a social media plan in place to teach our reps to post online. We encourage our reps to purchase samples, the chewables and the shakes, because it's a very smart and strategic business strategy to get the product in the hands of as many people as possible so they can have a Juice Plus experience. And as a rep, you get paid on your own orders for samples. It counts towards your QSC, and it's an investment, a return on your investment that's worth it. Now, if you can't afford it, that's entirely different. You work with your upline and you guys devise a plan to come up so that you can still get some samples. And then the third is scheduling of events. And within the first 10 days, you get something on the calendar, Facebook event, Zoom, small kitchen table discussion, something. But that's what we do for 30 days. We perfect the art of social, samples, and schedule it. And if we're really creative, we do a sample giveaway through our social media. Okay, so number 2, step 2 to implement into your culture is action-based steps in your first 30 days. All right. Finally, is that you want to make sure that all campaigns and all that you're doing is driven around the concept of core rank. All right, this is relatively new for our group, so we're learning as we grow. Campaigns are a great way to mix up your DMO. DMO gets boring. To mix it up, to shake it up, these campaigns for core rank, they're fun. You can do competitions, you can do different giveaways, you can spice up your DMO through campaigns, and you make it a part of your monthly rhythm. Our group has a monthly core rank group. like I shared with you, we invite people into a private Facebook group. It's fun, it's energetic, there's competitions, there's awards. I've had people ask me, because I've trained about this before, what does your core rank group look like? It looks a little different each month, but it's always built around those 3 action steps: social, samples, and schedule it. So as an upline leader, create in your culture what makes sense to you, right? If your culture is great about 3-way calls, DMO stands for daily method of operation. What you should be doing every day to grow your business, Juice Plus income producing strategies. So it's a great way to disguise your DMO when it gets boring and add excitement. So I'm going to close with this. The key in this business, if you want to build habits that last, is to join a group where the desired behavior is the normal behavior. As a leader, if you decide to make core rank your focus and you make it normal and your team expects it, guess what's going to happen? Right? And so here's what I want to share with you. Be a QSC factory. Reign QSCs. Become a duplication doctor, because that's what this formality does. And become a core rank factory. So, oh, I love you, Judy. I love you too. That is it. That's core rank QSC. You learned why, what, and how. So clearly, I mean, we have like 2 or 3 minutes left. If anybody, I mean, Kathy or Abby, if anybody has any questions, I'm certainly happy to answer them, but you're going to have so much fun with this. I know we are.
Okay, we've got a question, Jamie, that says, how can I learn more and get trained on this?
The best person that I have learned, most of my training has been done from Eric Worre. He is network marketing professional, has a ton of videos. You just Google Eric Worre, last name spelled W-O-R-R-E. I have been to 3 conferences of his and have done multiple online trainings, and it's just, he knows the stuff about the industry. But there's other great network marketing professionals, Ray Higdon, Tanya Eliza, John and Melton. There's a lot of great people out there that are training on the industry and the business.
Awesome. Thank you, Jamie. Another one is, if somebody wants to get into a core rank group, how do they go about doing that?
Well, I think that depends on whose team you're a part of. In our organization, I mean, that you'll get notifications, but I would work, if you don't have an existing core rank group, I would get with your upline and get with your leaders and talk about if that is something that you guys want to do. And if it's not, then maybe you start it within your own building budding team, right? Something fun.
Absolutely. Okay, what scheduling system do you use, Jamie?
What do you mean by scheduling system, Judy? I saw that question.
Like if someone wants to schedule a meeting with you when you want to just like a one-on-one or have a time.
You know, that's a great question. I have really shifted towards Messenger to communicate one-on-one with people. I think Voxer tends to get really time suck. I've been the worst at it. I drain people's Voxer messages, so I've learned to step away from that. So I just really schedule it one-on-one.
Okay, so you don't use a calendar system where they can go in and say, I want 8 o'clock, I want 8:30 or all that. Okay, good.
I'm not that popular, Judy. I'm not that, my schedule is not that crazy.
Does anybody have any other questions?
Hey, I don't have a question, but I have a comment. And Jamie, thank you so much for doing this again. I know at Pajama Regional, our team was begging for you to come back and do this again. And if you are on Nicole Fletcher or Holly Morris, this is what we're doing with our QSC group. So we're essentially, Kathy Crockett has agreed to just pretty much look at everything that Jamie's doing, and that's what we're doing. So I don't know who was asking that, if they're on one of those teams or not, but there's a lot of us that are taking what Jamie's doing, and we have a group for September starting tomorrow. So we just didn't do Core Rank, that name, but it's the QSC in 30-day group. So it's the same thing.
I didn't see you earlier on here. It makes me so happy to see your face.
Oh, thank you.
Hands up. I have a question. This is Becky Emanuel. So somebody did say about her scheduling, you were trying to figure out what I mean, but what do you use for scheduling? Like say, just do your daily method of operation or your calendars, or like what is it that works the best for you? Yeah.
I mean, I'm time block. Like on Sunday nights, I plan out my whole week and I time block my work. And then I time block in individual hours. So when somebody emails me or messages me and wants to do a coaching call or what have you, I know what my time is available, right? So that's what works for me. But do what works for you.
Okay, this is the last question we'll take. What were the events you scheduled for newbies in their first 10 days?
A lot of times Facebook events tend to work the best because, and I mean this with all due respect, is that people are really nervous to put themselves out there on Zoom as a launch. Now, if you have somebody that wants to do a Zoom, run with it, but Facebook events are safe. Now, the key with Facebook events is there's an incredible amount of follow-up. And so you're gonna have to teach your reps how to do the proper follow-up. Otherwise, remember what Atomic Habit says, unpleasant consequences mean people won't repeat those actions. So be mindful. Zoom and Facebook events are in two entirely different methodologies of promoting a launch event. So understand the skills that are needed and really coach that with your team.
Awesome. Thank you, Jamie, for your time. Thank you, everyone, for being here. We're so glad that you could jump on. We hope you have an amazing rest of your week. And there will be a recording of this that will be shared for those of you that had team members that couldn't make it on, or you want to go back and rewatch. So have a great night. Have a great week. Blessings. Bye, y'all.
Bye, guys.
Thank you, Jamie.
Welcome.
Thank you.